see you. Okay, it's 5:30. So if you guys don't mind, what I'm going to do is I am going to record this meeting. It makes it a lot easier for our secretary. So I'm going to start recording now. Okay. I think I'm recording. Okay, so I just want to specify a few guidelines for this evening. First of all, I want to just start off and just say that we do have a new person in charge of the office. They are filling in the ED position. We're calling it an operational person. So that person started yesterday. His name is Nick Morton. We are very busy at Cheshire TV tonight. We have a city meeting as well as a school board meeting, and then we have our regular board meeting that you guys are in tonight. I have counted already. We have everybody except for one board member so far. So we do have a quorum tonight, which is great. What we're going to do tonight is we are going to go through board activities first, the things that we have on our agenda. And at the end of the meeting, please write down any questions that you have. We'll be happy to answer them at the end. We're going to try to finish this meeting before 7 o'clock or around 7 o'clock because we have some people that need to get out and go. So 7 o'clock is going to be our goal. What we have done is we've set up some timing on our agenda so we can try to stay on track so we don't spend too much time on topics that may not need quite as much time. As I had said before, I'd like you guys to mute yourselves at least. It looks like we have quite a few people on the screen. I'm going to try to keep track of all of the members, but if it makes it hard, we may have to have you guys take yourselves off video as well. You can still watch us, but we just can't watch you, so it'll be a little bit easier for me to keep track of our board members. Let's see. As I said, we will have member input at the very end, so write down your questions. And what we'll ask you guys to do is state your name and address like they do, I've seen at the city meetings, so that our secretary knows who's talking and who's asking questions. So we'll try to make it as easy on Diane as we can. I know it's a lot for her to take care of because there's a lot of people in the meeting tonight. Okay, so we are going to get started. It is 5:32 and we are going to, let's see, I'm just going to start the timer or get ready to go there. Okay, so the first item that we are going to talk about tonight is, let's see, welcoming you guys. We have welcomed you. Let's see, we have established a quorum and we are going to review all of the meetings that we've had. It looks like 1, 2, 4, 6, it looks like 9 meetings that we've had since the last time that we reviewed and accepted these. So what we have is we have a review of the approval of the minutes for the following meetings. We have a September 1st meeting, and I'm going to ask the board to go through as we go. We'll ask somebody for a motion to accept and a second. I was going to do them all together, but just in case there's a question, we'll do them all separate. So the September 1st board minutes, does anyone have any questions on that one? Do we have a motion? And you will have to take yourself off mute if you're going to make a motion.
I'll motion to accept the September 1st minutes.
Okay, so Christina Germano made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Bob Milliken is the second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor? I'm going to go through the list.
Aye.
Just one sec. Ken?
Aye.
Diane? I'm sorry, the board members can unmute yourselves, please. Diane?
Sorry, aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Andrew? Not here. Diane, just meant to mention Andrew is not here. So unless he comes in late, he's the only board member that's not here. Robert?
Aye.
David? Dave Payson? Yep. I can't hear you. Dave, you're on mute. I'm going to say aye.
Hang on.
We got it? Okay, thank you. Motion passes. And so that is the September 1st minutes. September 28th, we had a special meeting. This was a closed, sealed meeting. And was there any questions on that meeting?
No.
Move to accept the minutes.
Okay, so we have Dave Payson is going to make the motion, and Who was the second?
Second.
I see a hand
Ken-
up here, I believe.
Just one moment. Ken,
Yes.
you're the second. And any other discussion? Lee, you had a discussion on that one?
Yeah. So you had a board meeting, or what was the meeting?
It was a special meeting on the 28th to discuss the altercation between Tom Travers and Rick Blood.
So was it a board meeting or like an executive committee?
It was a special meeting. It was a special meeting that we held.
Oh, okay. A special board meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand. I didn't
Okay.
realize that. So there's a quorum, there's a standard process, and then
Yep.
at
We
some
went
point the
through that
minutes
whole thing.
we're going to go into non-public session. Who made the motion to go to non-public session, and for what purpose?
I just told you the purpose, Lee. And if you
No,
want
no,
me to
what
go
I'm saying is the minutes, the unsealed portion of the minutes should say that
we
they're
do
gonna
have
be-
that on the minutes. It is on the minutes.
I
But
don't
let
see
me
them.
let me
That's why I'm
go.
asking.
We've only got okay. Let me go through this.
Well,
If we're going to have to go
through.
through this every time, this is going to be and
No, actually, Jody, you made at the beginning of the meeting that we were going to go through the board business, and members were welcome to take notes, ask questions. We'll have an open discussion at the end. But one of the reasons we are so far behind in reviewing and approving these is almost every meeting we have gets hijacked by something that isn't what's on the agenda. So I really think we need to stick to that. Lee, with your questions, write them down. We
Problem.
will address every single one of them at the end, but we have a lot to get through.
what
I
I can
understand,
what I
but-
can tell you, Lee, is if there was a motion. It just means that I've got to go through I've got the papers right here, but I can tell you that there was a motion. There was a motion to go into the sealed meeting. There was into the special meeting, the closed meeting. There was a motion to come out of the closed meeting, and it was sealed.
Right. So there's no need to approve those minutes at this meeting.
Then that's great. Let's check that one off.
They can be put off till the next meeting. I'm
Okay.
not trying to
Can
be
you mute
difficult, but
him?
if you vote on it, then it's too late to discuss it.
Well,
If
what else
after
is
you
there?
vote on
What
it-
else is there to discuss? We followed the guidelines. If you want, did you go ahead? Do you want me to tell you?
I was just going to say,
Are we going to have
I
to
was
do this
just gonna
every
s-
time? I'm just asking because it's
Oh,
going to take a
are we
long
gonna-
time to.
Jody, can you please?
I'm happy to
stick
answer any
to what
question you
said?
ask, but you have
Jody,
to let me
please
answer.
stick to what you said the meeting was going to be, because all of us had a lot of time invested in this
Mhm.
over the last several months, much more than what is a normal board have to do. And I'm not going to be here until 9 o'clock, because every motion we make to approve, we are the board. Members are welcome here. Members we're going to have an open forum for them to discuss and ask their questions. And if there was something that we tweaked a little bit wrong, we'd be happy to hear what that may have been, and we will address it next time.
But what
please move on, because I'm not
Yeah.
staying on here if we don't move on.
Okay, so let's move on. Lee, please put your message. I will get back to you, Lee. I have everything that you need. If you need it, I will get back to you. But we do have a lot to go on. Okay, so we're going to move on.
I promise I'm
If-
not trying to slow you down.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so we are going to vote on that one anyway, because I don't want to have to come back to that next meeting.
Whoa, no, you're not. I'm sorry. The point of having rules is that you follow them.
All right.
If you vote on it, it's too late. You need to
We
table
just
it till the
voted
next
on
meeting.
it, move on. We
Really?
voted on
You
it.
voted on it.
How are members
Please
to,
read back the vote, Diane.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, Christina said you just voted on the minutes of that sealed meeting. I'd
No,
like you
we
to
have
read
not
back how
voted
everyone
on
voted.
it. We have made a motion and we have a
So
second. We're in
let's decide
discussion.
who's
Just one
chairing
minute.
this meeting.
I will chair this meeting, Lee. Thank you. Just one
Excellent.
moment,
Thank you.
okay? All right.
Thank you.
So what I can say is this time I am going to go in and I'm going to look at the minutes. I will show you what the minutes show. I know because we will never, ever, ever have another sealed, another special meeting that is not sealed. Okay. So we will follow the guidelines that we're supposed to follow. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that.
if there's still discussion to be had about the minutes, how can you approve them?
What is the discussion on the minutes?
We don't
What is
know
your
yet.
discussion on the minutes? These are special closed sessions. All he's asking is for, did we go into the meeting and did we come out of the meeting? That's what he's asking. He's not asking about what was in the meeting. He's asking, was it sealed? Yes, it was sealed. The motion was made to go into the closed meeting. We went into the closed meeting. We came out of the closed meeting. We had, after the discussion, we sealed it. We were done. What else is he going to get for information? Just because we
believe
didn't
he
vote?
asked, he asked who made the
All I'm
motion.
recommending is that you table it until everybody's had a chance to review the documents. That's all.
It just seems ridiculous to me. Okay, we'll table this one.
No, Jody, we are
Yes.
the board. We
No.
are the board. Members are not running the board. We are the board. Do it, move on. We will discuss with members what their questions are at the end. We have worked too hard to
You
get to
cannot-
the point where we
You
have so
cannot
much
have
to go over
discussion on an
today.
item. You
The
cannot have
members are
discussion
not-
Okay,
after the
enough,
vote.
enough.
Any more than
We-
a citizen goes into a city meeting and hijacks a city meeting, they don't. They're asked for their input when they're asked for their input.
Right. All right, we are going to move on. And so we have a motion from, who was the motion from, Diane?
Dave Payson.
Dave Payson made the motion. The
seconded
second
by
was-
Ken Colby.
Ken Colby. All right, we're going to
Aye.
go through. Ken Colby? Aye.
Yeah.
Diane?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was made by Dave Payson and Ken Colby seconded it.
Right. And we have Ken and Diane that have, or excuse me, Ken has said aye. Diane, aye?
Yes.
Christina?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
And I. Motion passes. Okay. October 6
So
minutes.
you just voted.
We
You
did.
just voted
We did
to
vote.
approve minutes that no
Yes, we
one
did.
has seen.
Those
There's
are
no
sealed
record
minutes.
whatsoever.
Those are sealed
Right,
minutes.
but-
And
but-
in the
but part
regular
of the
minutes,
meeting
in the
prior to
regular,
that and
listen,
after that?
listen to me, Lee.
Okay.
If you
okay.
go to the regular minutes, you will see that we went in and we came out of session. Okay, thank you.
What was the date? I'm looking for it. What was the date?
September 28th, and we're going to move on because this is why we want to get through this meeting. And Lee, I'm going to have to mute you because I really need to get through this, honestly. I'm just telling you.
What is the point of having a meeting if you're not going to follow the rules?
These are our rules. These are the rules that we've set.
You don't make the rules. The rules have already
The
written.
rules are the bylaws.
Yeah,
You're not going
and
to
the
take
state.
input from members?
What's the
Jody,
point?
Jody,
Excuse me.
get control.
Thank you. We're going to move on.
Okay.
October 6th. And if you guys, we're going to have to mute you if we need to get through this meeting. Okay? I'm not asking, okay. I'm
There's
saying.
no
yes, this is-
requirement to get through the meeting. The requirement is to.
Thank
Okay,
you.
as we move on, October 6th, we had a meeting and we had minutes from that. Does anybody have any questions on that meeting?
No.
Okay. Do we have a motion for the October 6th meeting? Minutes? Motion? October 6th? Could
I was
somebody
not
make,
there, so
Christina?
Yes.
Christina's making a motion. And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion for the board?
Was that Dave?
That was October 6th.
No, who seconded it?
Christina and
Dave.
Dave Payson.
Okay.
Okay, if we're ready to vote, Ken,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Christina,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Robert,
yes.
are you going to vote or abstaining because you weren't there?
Abstaining.
Dave
Yes.
and Jody, aye. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ayes and 1 abstention, Diane.
Okay.
Okay, Robert is abstaining. Okay, so that passes. October 20th, we had the annual meeting and we had motions there. Does anybody have any questions on that one before we put that in for a motion to pass the minutes? October 20th, okay. Do we have a motion to pass the minutes for October 20th?
I move to pass the
Okay, Dave Payson.
minutes for October 20th.
Okay. Dave Payson asks to pass the motion for the minutes on the 20th. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Steve Hooper seconds. Any discussion on the board? Okay, we'll vote again. Ken,
Aye.
Dave, I'm sorry, Diane,
Aye.
Aye.
Dave, okay. Christina,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Robert,
Abstain.
abstain, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
Yep, no problem. Dave, I've already got, and me, so again, that's 6 and 1 abstention. Motion passes. October 26th, we had the nomination committee meeting. We have minutes from that. Does anybody have
So-
any questions or updates on that one? Yes.
Just in procedure, so
Mhm.
you shared the minutes with the board from that meeting, but not all of us were at the nominating committee meeting, so are
Right.
we?
I think, as I would see it, you would accept it if you didn't find any problems with it because you weren't there at the meeting. The only three people that were there is me, Dave Payson, and Bob Milliken.
So
So that's-
we're just accepting what was shared.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So as read, do we have a motion to pass the nomination committee meeting?
Yes, I'll set the motion.
Okay, Robert sets the motion, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Christina is seconding. Any discussion from the board? You know the four people that we put on as candidates?
Yes, I think
Chris-
it was a great,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Kristen and Nicole, Mike Brown is here, and Gerhard Betting. All right, so we'll go for the vote then. Ken?
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Diane?
Aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Robert is
Aye.
aye, yep. Dave?
Aye.
Okay. And aye for Jody. Okay. So that motion passes for the nomination committee motion minutes. Special meeting, this was a sealed meeting on October 27th. This was a special meeting that went into the closed session, did have a discussion, went out of closed session, and was sealed. October 27th meeting, do we have any discussion with the board, or are we ready to make a motion?
I do have some discussion, but because it was a sealed meeting, when I got those minutes, I did have a couple of questions, which I did email. So I would like to not approve those at this time.
Okay, that sounds
pardon?
fine with me.
What was the October 27th meeting?
It was a special meeting. Yep.
Was it
So we'll
called?
table that. Special meeting of the board. Special meeting of the board. Yes, Ken?
Mute.
Oh, yes, right. Dave, could you mute, please?
Sure.
I can mute you if you need to.
What?
Not Dave Payson, Dave Kirkpatrick. Okay.
Oh.
So, yes. So, Christina, we will table that until the next meeting.
Okay, so I'll
Okay,
make a
so that-
motion to table the minutes of the October 27th special meeting.
Okay. So, Christina is making a motion to table those minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Robert seconds. And any further discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Ken,
Yes.
Diane?
Lee has a hand up.
just one moment. Okay, so let's see. Diane,
Yeah.
Christina,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dave, Robert,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
and Jody. So that one will be tabled until the next meeting because we do have some changes that we'd like to make to clarify a few things. Okay, and the last one is the finance meeting. I don't know if you guys want to do that. That's got a motion that we'll need. We will have a talk about that by Christina in just a couple minutes. But if you've looked that over, Christina, do you want to say anything about that meeting just because it happened yesterday?
It happened yesterday. I did send the minutes out to all of the board. If you haven't had a chance to review them, I'm happy to go over them right now, but I think until you've actually had a chance to read them, maybe we should table that motion as well.
Okay, yeah, because it did only happen yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, do we have a motion to table the minutes
I'm
for the
unaware.
finance? I see you, Lee. Do we have a motion to table the minutes for the finance meeting?
Also,
I
motion.
move that we table the finance.
Okay,
meeting.
Second.
Dave and Christina? Okay. And are we ready to vote? So we're tabling the minutes for the finance meeting. So Ken?
Ken's muted.
Yep. Ken, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
I wonder who muted me.
But that's all.
I did. If I did, I didn't do it on purpose. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Christina,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
and me. So that passes unanimously. So we will have those 2 items on the next meeting in December. Okay, we are going to move on. Just a treasurer's report, Christina. Just so that you guys do know, we did change our passwords, and signature cards have been changed at Savings Bank of Walpole. Christina, if you'd like to give a report on the finances, and then we will have the annual review, the annual report and the budget with the audited statements. Okay, Christina.
Excellent. Our finance committee is down to Andy and I, actually, but we met and reviewed several things. And if you'd allow me to get through all of them first, because it may answer questions that might come up in the first part of it. So the first thing that we did was reviewed the auditor's report for the fiscal year. It was already signed by Joe Brandisky and his as treasurer. But we did want to go over it again for the year ending 6/30/20. That was presented as part of the annual report. I think it was back in October that Jody presented to the city.
Which they did know that it was a draft, because there were a couple of changes that came in last minute.
Right. Not necessarily to the audited financial statements themselves.
Right.
But they did have a couple of questions. The most significant of that was they wanted, on the audited financial statements, our cash position is reported as one number. So they wanted a breakdown of what was in restricted, what was in a contingency fund. We have the scholarship fund. There's also an equipment fund that's there. That's not part of our regular working capital for the station that we can purchase equipment with and so forth. So we provided that to them. So when we accept the annual report, the city of Keene is now ready for the final version. Andy and I went over that. We added it to the financial statements for the city to clear up their question.
And that will be going to the city tomorrow as well.
Yes, and then
once we have approved.
And then I believe that gets put up on the web. So all of these things are going to be uploaded on the website for the public and all the members to see.
Right. We just wanted to make sure that everything was accurate before we put it out into the public.
Right. Exactly. So then the next thing that we did in the finance committees, we reviewed the operating and the capital budgets. Again, they were presented to the city. They had a couple of questions, and then when we took it back, we realized there were a couple of things in the budget that we did update that were significant. So the budget was created basically on an even year to last year, because I think last year was one of the most difficult years with COVID and all kinds of other things, and all of the change in board members and staff and so forth. So that was kind of the conservative approach to take. The one thing we did update to the budget that is going and being presented here as a final one to the city of Keene is that the rent increased significantly to the city. I understand the rent was around, I think, $1,200 or $1,300 at the beginning. When they were doing renovations, they lowered it to $1,000 with the understanding that once those renovations were complete, that it would go up to $1,800 per month for the city. So we needed to account for that, as well as for the fuel. Cheshire TV will be responsible for the whole heating oil now.
Right.
So we added a line item to the budget for that.
Yeah. And so let me just repeat, though, that when we found out 2 hours before the meeting with the city that the rent had gone up. So that was why we didn't have it updated in the original budget. So I just want to let you know that that's one. It's not because we did anything that we had to make changes on. It was only because we just found out that the rent was going up.
The lease was changing.
Right.
And then the other significant item that was added to a budget this year was what we've already voted on for the professional fees for the executive director search. So all those things were on the budget. We've updated it, issued it to all the board members to take a look at it. We'll be looking at that tonight to vote on that, to get that final copy to the city as well. They've done a great job working with us and asking the questions and helping us sort through all of these things. And then that will also be uploaded onto Cheshire TV. And then finally, we reviewed, I've only had access to, I've been treasurer for a month and access to QuickBooks for a week. So I was able to get in and do a cursory review. We do have a first quarter summary to issue, but it is not complete and updated. On my review of the fiscal year starting in July, there were a couple of very significant items that went to the profit and loss that made it show a loss for the quarter. One was the new computer that was paid for in July, and that was part of our capital budget. So that is going to be reclassed to a fixed asset. So that's won't be in the P&L, and that was part of our budget for capital, as well as there was an invoice put in for $22,000 for the first payment to Nexus. And I understand that's been delivered today. That as well will be capitalized equipment, is part of the capital budget that was proposed. So that will also affect the profit and loss for the first quarter. I've been in contact with Rust & Company, our CPAs that do the actual bookkeeping on a month-to-month basis and do the journal entries, and they will make those adjustments for us. So when we look at it, certainly by the end of the second quarter, that'll all be adjusted properly. It may be in the interim, but we won't be reporting finances every single month. So that is pretty much what we discussed. The minutes were submitted. We can check at those, but I'd love to answer any questions that anyone has about the specifics of the budget, the fiscal, the audited financial statements, or the first quarter.
From the board.
From the board.
So members are not allowed to participate?
Not in this, Lee. Okay, is there any further discussion before we have a motion? Christina, would you like to make a motion?
Well, we're not going to accept the minutes yet, so that's really was more of a summary report. I don't think there's a motion except for to keep moving on.
Okay, all right. So, but do we need to accept the annual report and the budget for us to put that out?
Yes,
that's
we're
what I
on
was
that
looking
one.
for.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the annual report that includes the audited financial statements to be submitted to the city of Keene and town of Swansea.
Okay, so Christina made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, too many seconds. Bob?
Dave.
Dave, okay. Dave?
Yes, I think.
All right, so Dave seconded it. All right, are we ready to vote? All right, Ken?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Christina?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Jody, yes. Passes unanimously. Okay, so we've moved on to that. All right, so are we all set with Christina with your financials?
I think somebody has to make a motion for the budget to be approved to submit to the city.
Oh, what was the budget for before then?
We just voted on the annual report that included the audited financial statements.
Okay, I was thinking that they were together.
Point of order. You cannot vote on this budget.
The budget for this coming fiscal year is what we need to vote on.
No one has seen this budget. You cannot vote on it.
Yes, we
Not
can.
one person off the board has seen this budget. You cannot vote on it.
We can. The city has. It is in the bylaws that the finance committee sets the budget. Thank you.
If you're going to mute me and I can't talk, then what's the point of having a meeting? In order for you to vote on the budget.
Because this is not an open forum meeting.
I am talking to the chair.
At the end.
I'm talking. Then it's too late because you voted.
Yes.
It's not going to. It's not going to change. So Lee,
well, that's problematic.
Please,
Jody, that's problematic.
This is a board meeting. Okay.
Is it?
I need the board to know that Christine is not telling the truth.
I disagree highly. I disagree highly.
All you want.
You can talk at the end of the meeting.
Not after the vote.
Yes.
You're not going to vote
after the meeting. After the meeting.
You're not going to vote when no one has seen the budget.
At the end of the meeting, Lee. The board has seen the budget.
You can't vote if.
Okay. So, Christina,
Yes.
Stop
Could you-
muting me.
Lee, we need
Stop
to move
muting
on. We need to move on.
You are having an illegal meeting.
This is
You
illegal.
need to stop. You are at risk of losing your nonprofit status. You need to stop and follow the law. If no one here on the board wants to do this job, resign. You cannot vote on a budget
Why?
that no one has seen.
Lee,
I-
why do we have a board?
Can I just
Please, just one second.
something real quick?
Just 1 second. Russell, what is it that you'd like to say?
I sit on the board of the Monadnock International Film Festival, and I have major concerns about how this board is being run. Traditionally, organizations, nonprofits, boards are to act in the benefit and in the greater good of the organization. And the way you're treating your members is not kosher with how boards are supposed to be run. I just want to put that out there because it makes me uncomfortable being a member of Cheshire TV if you guys are going to be voting on things that haven't been seen or anything like that.
Russell, can I ask you a question? Do you see the board? No, keep yourself unmuted, please. Russell, do you see the financials before they vote on them at the board meetings for MONIF?
Yes, every
You do.
single time.
Mm-hmm.
We see the financials. We talk about discrepancies.
And are you on the board? Or are you on the Are you a member? Or are you on the board?
I'm on the board.
Right, you're
Oh.
on the board.
For here?
I'm saying no. I'm saying, are you on the board for that nonprofit?
Yes, I am.
Our board has seen this information. What Lee is saying is he is a member and he wants to see it.
Yes,
I'm not
all
saying that
our,
we have
all
anything.
our financials are transparent and are available for all members to see.
They will be transparent. They will be transparent, but we're
But
voting.
Yeah,
you don't
after the
vote
fact.
on the financials before they're transparent. Is what?
Yeah.
I can make this simple for you,
No,
Jody.
actually,
Was there a
as
finance
board
committee where this was
member,
voted
I'm not
on by the
yield-
finance
As a board
committee?
member, I'm not
Yes.
yielding the floor, Lee. I have
Okay.
two things to say. Financial statements that are audited under
I'm
the
talking about the
bylaws,
budget.
and they've been
Budget.
audited, accepting
Budget.
those is not
Budget.
a thing of the membership. The budget is to be, by bylaw, section 11.03, duties of the finance committee. The finance committee shall review the annual financial statements, approve the annual budget, and recommend to the board the selection of and fees to be paid to an independent certified accountant. It's the
I'd like to see the minutes of that
responsibility of
meeting.
the finance committee to report to the board of directors whether CVT is meeting its projected budget. And it goes on. It is not the finance committee's duty to share with every single member every nuance of everything in the financials until they have been reviewed and accurate. We are not opening up our QuickBooks to 56 members so they can go on and check out what they want to when they want to. It does
what I'm
not
asking
work
for.
like that.
My question is, why are you guys voting it into the minutes?
So that
You
we
guys
can
aren't even
upload it
finished
so
with them
you
yet.
can all see it. We're voting
it's
on
too
it so
late.
you can all see it.
But then it's too late to change.
What
It's
are we
not
going to change?
It's not
It's
up
not
to the
going to
members
change.
change it.
My question is, was there a finance committee meeting wherein you discussed approving this budget?
She
Yes.
just said that
When?
yesterday.
Was it?
Was that
noticed?
meeting noticed to members so they could participate?
No.
Then you should
is-
not have had the meeting and it's
So
void.
every
You
every
cannot
member
have a
can come
meeting
to every
that's
committee.
closed.
So every
Absolutely. That's what the bylaws say. Yes.
every meeting, every special meeting that we have, a member can come to every single meeting.
Why would a budgetary meeting be a special meeting?
If
Is
you're
my
going to ask me questions, you cannot.
I
mute
was
me.
asking
The
you.
answer is,
I was asking you to listen to me. What I was saying first.
I heard the question. Every
you're
meeting
talking-
is public. It's in the bylaws. Every meeting. I don't understand why we're arguing about this. If you look in the bylaws, it says every meeting of Cheshire TV is to be open to the public. You had a meeting
Yes,
yesterday
and it
that
will
you couldn't
be.
allow the public to attend.
We
Right?
are meeting.
Did you have a meeting yesterday that
requirements.
was open to the public?
Really,
Nope.
can we move on here, Jody? Because
We cannot. You have violated New
You are
Hampshire
a
law.
member, Lee. You are a member.
That's correct.
You do
You
not
are
have
here
the
to
rights of the
serve the
board.
membership.
Yes,
we
you
are
are the membership,
serving the
but you are.
Dave, and
I would like I would like
All
any
you're
board
doing,
member
Lee,
to
is
speak up.
throwing a whole bunch of crap in the fire. Let us get through this. Take your notes.
Absolutely
We
not.
will answer
Absolutely
your
not.
questions. We will
Absolutely not.
even find out who
You
sent
will
a
not
Okay,
vote
all
on a
right.
meeting that was held illegally. You
It's
won't.
not.
We
I won't allow it.
we are going to vote right now. Christina,
You are not going to vote on a meeting that was held illegally. It's not going to happen. The board doesn't have that authority. It's illegal. It's against the law. My advice is table it and find out whether or not it's okay to have finance committee meetings that the members aren't allowed to attend. Ask
I'm
any one of
curious,
these people who
Lee,
have experience.
I'm curious
Yes, sir.
where all these members were before. I've been on the board for a couple of years now. Conan, you were a board member. I don't remember ever having the public in any meetings, unless
That's
somebody
because
came in with
the
a
public
question.
was never notified. I never
Yeah,
got any notification until
The
recently.
public doesn't lose its rights by not using them.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, where were you? Where were all you people
That's
all
an excellent
throughout the
question,
years?
Bob.
Some significant
And
things
you know
have
what,
happened
Bob, I'd
recently.
like to answer
The-
that question.
The membership
Bob,
is very
I'd like
interested.
to answer that question, if I could. I actually sent an email asking, when is the next finance committee so I can attend? I'd like to provide my expert opinion
that
on
was
this
sent
budget.
today. That was sent today.
That was not sent today. Be
I saw it
careful
on
what you
Facebook
say.
today. I thought it was on Facebook. That's what I saw on Facebook.
Christina
Facebook
knows.
does not count as a notification to members.
That's not what I was saying. I was saying
So,
that Lee
Bob,
responded. Okay,
I'm a
enough,
member.
enough.
What do I know?
No,
Enough.
not enough. Not enough.
Please,
Bob asked
we
a
need
question, and I'm
one
gonna answer
person.
it.
We need one person talking at a time is what I'm saying, Lee. All right?
Okay,
You have the
Bob, did you
floor.
hear my answer?
Just
I
listen.
did.
Okay.
Are you done, Lee?
I
Robert,
answered
are
Bob's
you
question. I
Hey,
want to
Robert,
make
are
sure
you-
Diane heard it.
Robert,
done.
are you fine?
Yes,
Okay, and what was the answer, Robert? From Lee.
he doesn't think anybody was notified, but I'm not talking about currently. I'm talking about, Conan, you were on the board. Did we have members show up? We had one or two. Dave showed up every meeting. That was about it. I mean, I don't
For a couple of
understand.
years, and I was never notified.
And this
I'm not
we
sure what the argument is.
Okay, so the point is the
Oh,
board
yeah.
that we have right now has been a board in officership for 3 months. We are doing everything that we can to get everything right that hasn't been right for years. So for you, Lee, stop. For you
The
to
board
make,
has functioned perfectly
you-
for years.
I highly doubt that when I see all the things that have gone on.
Here's what I
So
find
this is
interesting.
enough. This
the
is enough. This is
organization that has run for 15 years, you're claiming wasn't functioning. I've made it clear to the entire board that the bylaws require that all meetings be public. A board member's response to that was, if they didn't show up in the past, why should we care? What I'm saying
No, that's
is,
not
that's
what I
not
said.
that's not what
I
he
did
was
not
saying.
what- That's not what I
he
said.
was saying.
why are
But
we talking about previous attendance? All I want to talk about is this meeting.
I'm just
took place in
curious
secret.
as to why all of a sudden, there's
That
this
seems like a
giant,
new
all of a
topic.
sudden,
New
Well,
business. Keep that
okay,
to the
that
end.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I'll tell you the answer to that. Cheshire TV is at risk of losing its nonprofit status. It's exposed to 2 wrongful termination suits. The IRS is preparing an audit, and the New Hampshire Attorney General's office is looking into its behavior. So I'm concerned because an organization that has been doing just fine for 15 years is now at risk of not existing at all.
And who is
This
bringing
is not
all
a
of this?
secret.
Who is bringing all of this to these people? All of the
Well,
members?
I'm guessing the wrongful
it shouldn't
termination
really
suits would
matter.
be the
They
end
can
of,
do
yeah,
it
it shouldn't
anytime
matter,
they
but
want. Is
I understand, Russell. I'm
thinking-
asking Lee. I'm asking Lee, Russell. I do understand what you're saying.
see, this is the
I'm
problem.
going to make.
Okay,
I'm going to
please.
make a motion because we're getting nowhere to just.
Right. And this
stop
is
the meeting
exactly what we were worried
altogether,
was going to happen.
And we'll get
You're
our
gonna
legal
stop the
counsel
meeting
to be
altogether.
on, we will get our legal counsel to be on the next meeting because this is going downhill again. If there are formal complaints to the Attorney General's office, you want to whistleblow to the IRS, you want to tattle on to the city, you want to send things into the Sentinel, have at it. We are trying to move forward. And you have prevented us from moving forward since July. It is why we are accepting a minute since September. We've done a lot of homework. We have got counsel. You are a member. You will have input at the end. Bring all the charges you
That's
want.
not input.
against us.
I'm sorry. That's
Have
not
at it.
input. And if you're saying that you're not going to have a meeting because you're being asked to adhere to the rules, then how are you ever going to have a meeting?
Lee, I really
You had-
appreciate.
I'm sorry, you had a finance committee meeting that was not properly noticed. This is not complicated. You can't
It's
do
not
that.
complicated, but I have been treasurer for less than 1 month. And when we needed to meet, because yes, we were behind with the city has accepted that. We have delayed some of these information. We gave them drafts. They're with us. They're trying to help us work through this. And we had a finance committee to accept items and to go over items, being a treasurer for 1 month, because we lost our treasurer. That just happened. We didn't
That
have a
doesn't mean
third
you can have
person.
meetings.
We met
Sorry,
so
I
that we
thought you were
could
done.
accept these and move forward. If you want to bring charges against me personally, go for it. But I'm either
I
going
want you
to
to-
make a motion to get rid of this meeting until we have legal counsel, or move forward and do it in the manner that we planned to do.
I'd like to point out that if the IRS does audit or the AG does look into Cheshire TV,
It's fine.
no one's going to care that you've only been doing this for a month or 3 months or
Yeah.
however
I'm
long.
And Russell-
completely aware of that.
Standard to go by.
Yeah.
It's fine. Russell, we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to hide. Honestly.
What is the
And
objection to following the rules?
we're doing the best. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear this, Lee, but we are all doing the best we can. We are trying to
Why
follow the
weren't
rules.
we permitted to participate in the
It
finance
wasn't
committee
done
and
on
see the
purpose.
budget?
It
Lee,
wasn't
it
on
was
purpose.
I
not.
asked
If a mistake has
Jody,
been
I
made,
asked
correct
in
it.
This was
email
a
for the
physical-
budget and was told no. You don't get to say you're doing the best you can when you repeatedly deny members things they're allowed to see.
We are not repeatedly denying members. The
I asked you
finance
for a
committee-
budget and you said no.
and- well, because as a member, you're not entitled to approve or review the budget.
I
You
didn't
can
ask
look
to
at it.
approve
It'll
or
be
review it. I asked to see it.
It's
And you
accessible
said no.
because it was not finalized.
So why are you
I
voting on
can't
it?
provide you with
It is
input if
Because
it's
when he asked
finalized.
for it and I said, no, it wasn't finalized. We're trying to finalize it this evening so
We
we can
had-
give you guys all these financials.
Right.
Have at it. All of
We-
the
For those
minutes,
of you,
all of
for
the
those of you who
meetings,
have been on boards
all of it.
before, we
I'm
can't
making
even
a
have a
motion that we
conversation
just-
about the fact that
I'm
the
making a
budget was
motion of the
prepared by
board
people
that
who
we
know
dismiss
nothing
this
about the
meeting
organization.
Until further notice.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Christina.
new here is getting really
I'm
old.
making a motion that we cancel this meeting until further notice.
Is there any discussion from the board?
I've never seen this happen.
Dave?
Neither have I. 15 years, I've never seen this.
30 years and I've never seen it.
Did there somebody second?
Second.
So you got a motion to adjourn the meeting in a second.
Thank you for the recap.
So Diane, we have Christina making the motion and Dave Payson is seconding. Is there any further discussion? This is really unfortunate. All right, we'll have a vote and this meeting will be tabled. We'll have to
Let's vote
determine it.
first.
Let me talk, please, Lee. Thank you. We'll have to set another date for this meeting because we will have other things to discuss. For right now, we are ending this meeting tonight.
You got to take a vote.
Ken,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Christina,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Dave, Payson.
Yes.
Not one independent board member in the room.
And Jody, aye. So we are tabling, or not tabling, but we will do another meeting to go over the rest of our information. The date will be set and we will go from there. Okay, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.